What's up, guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 1983 Oldsmobile Cutlass Hurst Olds. Up front is a 5.0 liter V8, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Hurst Old because it is a very special car. It's one of the most unique cars of this era. I've always loved G-bodies, but this has the lightning rods. And so, we're going to be experiencing and playing with those here today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 307 under the hood. Well, it is an Oldsmobile V8, although it shares a displacement or liter displacement with the Chevy 305. This is actually a 307, which was a different engine. I'll put the horsepower on the screen from the factory. Now, this is a 44,000 mile example, and the carburetor has never been taken off. So I would imagine that most of those ponies are still in the stable. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic, and this has the lightning rod transmission. So let's talk about it. This was a drag racing style transmission offered in the Hurst Old. These shifters were made by Hurst, which is an independent company from Oldsmobile, but this is the only car to ever get the lightning rods. They also did it in 1984. However, the exterior colors are actually switched. So if you see a silver one, that's a 1984, black was 1983. So let's talk about the lightning rods and how they work. All right, so I can't imagine this is my most flattering angle, but this is the angle that I'm gonna use. So this is the lightning rod shifter. Let me pull over here and get some straight road. So right now I'm in drive. This was known as the his and her shifter because in drive, it'll drive and shift like an absolutely normal transmission. You never have to touch these. However, if you do want to touch them and use them, you can do so like this. So we'll pull over, put it down into drive. This is now in third gear, second, first. So it's in first gear now, and it will not shift until second gear, third gear, fourth. So it was kind of sort of manual-ish. This was used for drag racing. Some old race cars had like twin sticks and things like that, and it will work for downshifts as well. So that was down into second. Let me slow down here. That's down into second. Sorry, that was down into third, down into second. And then if we really, really slow down, we can go back down into first. So first gear again. Second. Third, fourth. There you go. And now we're back in drive too, so I could drive it the rest of the way home in drive, and it's not going to matter. It's going to actually work well. So that is how the lightning rods work in the Hurst Olds. Last but not least, it is, of course, rear wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive the Hurst Olds? Well, it drives like pretty much every other G-body that I've driven. No surprise there. However, it is pretty comfortable, and I quite like it a lot. Visibility is really good, and as I mentioned, you can just put it into drive and drive it like a normal vehicle. So honestly, I was intimidated by the lightning rods, but there's real no need to be. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 6 gauges. Off to the left is my tachometer and speedometer, and off to the right is my coolant temperature, oil pressure, fuel and battery voltage. These were the sport gauges, so that was also part of the Hurst package. However, you could get these gauges on other Cutlasses. They were standard here for the Hurst. On the steering wheel, we just have the Oldsmobile badge. That's it. And off to the left, we have a climate control vent, headlights, parking lights, and our interior lights. Down below, we do have a rear defrost. And moving on to the door, we have power windows, power mirrors, and power locks. Now, this is based off of the Calais trim level, so you can see on the door a little indent where the Calais badge would have been, but there's no badge there because this is the Hurst. They just reused the door cards for it. Moving into the center, we do get a Hurst Olds 15th anniversary badge, one of many found on this vehicle, and a clock as well as 2 climate vents. Our climate controls down below, AC that still functions here today. Absolutely love that. Cigarette lighter, our radio, and a dealer optioned equalizer. So this car was bought brand new by the owner's uncle back in 1983, and he optioned for the additional equalizer. very, very cool to see this part of the Cutlass's history. Then we move on to the lightning rods. So obviously you know how they work now. Very, very odd to see 3 different shifters in one vehicle, but also very cool. Little ashtray, center console, and no cup holders. So the Hurst Olds, as cool as it is, fails the big friggin' bottle test. The seats, of course, are the peak of comfort because they are GM seats from the 80s. 80s and 90s GM have the most comfortable seats of any vehicles, and the Hurst Olds is absolutely no different. I love it. And we have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, we're in the back of the Hurst Olds. We do have ashtrays. I'm not super comfortable, but honestly, it's actually not bad either. Now that I sit up straight, it actually is a lot better. Headliner sags a little bit. Very common GM problem that you're gonna see across a lot of different vehicles. But just look at this back seat. This back seat itself is just so nostalgic. I absolutely love just looking back here. It just reminds me of these warm, fuzzy memories from yesteryear, and that I really, really enjoy. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. So, square key for ignition, circle key for the trunk, and as you can see, this has the original Oldsmobile dealer tag and all the original tags on the key, which is really, really special. So once we are back here, circle key, like I said, pop it up like that, and there you go. That is the ginormous trunk that came along with the Hurst Olds and pretty much any G-body on this platform. So nothing new here. We don't get any crazy Hurst Olds attributes besides the Hurst Olds 15th anniversary here on the deck lid, which I love. Right back down like that. Absolutely love it. Now we gotta talk about the looks. And like I said, that paint scheme is for the Hurst Olds. That's how you can kind of identify them. And I love it. I think this car looks so good, and it looks like a collector's item even when it was new. I feel like this car always looked like a museum piece, and the color scheme really reinforces that. I love the square bodiness of this era of G-body. So to me, it's a win across the board. I also do love the 15th anniversary badges. I think that adds some really special feeling to this car as well, even though it didn't need any more help feeling special. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving my first Hurst Olds? Well, this was incredibly special. I have been wanting to drive this vehicle for a very long time, and Cody gave me the opportunity to drive this incredibly clean example. Only 44,000 miles. What an awesome, beautiful, well-kept piece of history. At the beginning of the review, I thought that these Hurst Old, or the lightning rod shifters, were dumb. I thought that it was stupid and useless. But as time has gone on and I've driven the car, I've learned to really enjoy the car and enjoy what the lightning rods do. I get it now. Are these necessary for drag racing? Not really, but they make you feel cool and they make you feel special. And that's what a good car should do. It should make you feel like the man of the hour, even when, well, you might not be. It's just like in today's vehicles, Ford offers a drift brake in their Ford Mustang. Are you gonna really go to the track and use that drift brake? Probably not, but it's a cool little nod from the manufacturer that says, hey, we enjoy your enthusiasm for these vehicles. Let us give you a little helping hand, a little push, a little tug. To me, that's what the lightning rods meant. Was this supposed to be an out-of-the-box drag racer? Maybe, maybe not. But what it ended up being was a fun car and a tip of the cap to drag racing community. And now it's become a classic and a museum piece and a staple of what the drag racing community was back in the 1980s. So here it is, a Hurst Olds for the first time on the Shooting Cars channel. And I have to say, I might be a changed man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Cody. He also works at Nomad Imports up here in Flint, Michigan. I've reviewed a bunch of their imported vehicles, which has been a lot of fun. Cody is absolutely wonderful. We were talking over the phone the other night when setting up this review, and I said, hey, I don't think I'm gonna be able to film everything within your operating hours. And he said, all good, I'll stay late. That's a guy with a family willing to stay late so I could film his car. That is a really, really good person. Cody is a very good friend of mine, and I appreciate him very, very much. But I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.